we are one. And praise the greatness God has brought our way. With a future so secure, lead us what we need. This is the man. We'll stand as one, united in every sense of the word. Bayelsa, let us do what is right. With a future so secure, lead us what we need. This is the man.
Rest assured that our actions and decisions will always be in your best interest. The development of human capital is our most compelling and urgent need. That is why we promise you free and compulsory education for all our children in primary and secondary school, with emphasis on competitive science and technology. For that is the way to teach. I am announced effective from today take up for free and compulsory education at primary and secondary school. Let me today, at this solemn occasion, declare a state of emergency in the education sector in the state.
Declaring a state of emergency in the education sector during his inaugural speech on February 14, 2012, was not just a mere pronouncement, but a policy statement which became one of the cardinal points of pursuing the restoration vision in education.
According to his declaration of making education its priority, to invest a lot of funds to infrastructural development. This is done at the primary, secondary, and tertiary level. If you will recall, when we came in, the state of education in Bayelsa was in comatose. Teachers were not teaching and children were not learning. Schools were dilapidated. So the first thing the governor did was to have a feasibility study, and he massively invested on reviving the infrastructural status by renovating, reconstructing, and building new structures for schools.
In terms of infrastructure, I make bold to state that there is no state government in this country that has invested the kind of resources that we have invested in the education sector. And moving forward, that revolution, infrastructural revolution, started in the state. And it started with the primary schools, where majority of our primary schools were renovated. And also the issue of headmasters' quarters was also introduced. And also the issue of providing accommodation for corpers, who in most cases help to cushion the effect of some of the shortages that we may have in the system because of their posting to the various schools. So accommodation was also provided for the corpers. And that changed the situation and that changed the story. And moving from that point, the governor had to do that in all the communities and in all the local government.
His Excellency Governor Henry Sidake Dixon, with a clear-cut focus on the direction of his administration to put Bayelsa on the international map of education, has continued to make huge investments in the all-important sector.
And that's why I'm proud that today we are where we are. And the governor did not stop at that. Having seen through the process of developing infrastructure in our primary schools, he moved forward to the secondary school system. And the same process was initiated. Principal quarters was built in all the secondary schools that we have. Also vice principal quarters were also built in all of them. Moving forward, science labs were built, bringing the culture of a school environment where the principal and vice principal live within the school community and the school environment. We did not stop at that. We also moved forward to now introduce something that has never been in the system before, the model boarding schools and the constituency boarding schools. As I speak, 25 constituency boarding schools have been built by this government. It means in every constituency in Bayelsa State, you have a model boarding school named Constituency Boarding School.
That is why, in addition to the already existing model schools, including the prestigious Ijaw National Academy in Kayama, more model schools have been built to accommodate the growing number of students across the state.
Every investment in education is not a waste. In actual fact, we need more schools than ever before.
For a state like Bayelsa, which hitherto was known more for vices such as militancy, Governor Dixon is today changing the narrative by using education as a deliberate tool and means to secure the future of the next generation.
To transit from a state that before now is known as a state of militants to a state of intellectual giants, giants that will rule their world. I'm so proud, and I can't thank His Excellency enough. Every time when people approach me or want to interview me and they ask me, what do you think is the biggest achievement of your administration? I say the biggest achievement is our investment in education. And like the governor, it is education, education, education. Take the southwest states, what used to be the western region, with Awolowo at the helm at that time, and gave free education. His free education policy, this is over 50 years ago. Today, look at where the southwest states are in terms of education. Because of that policy of free education, some of us who grew up in Lagos are beneficiaries of the free education policy of Awolowo. You know? And it is not surprising, therefore, to see the number of educated people who are today leaders of industries, leaders in government, leaders in every sector of our economy.
Not minding the challenge posed by the economy, which clearly has affected the finances of government, Governor Dixon is speedily addressing the long years of neglect and the backwardness the state had maintained over the years in education.
In education alone, as I speak, we spent about 60 billion building schools, educational infrastructure, and introducing and funding in a recession the most comprehensive revolutionary educational program, where we direct compulsory boarding of brilliant underprivileged kids drawn from across the length and breadth of our state, and given free boarding. They are fed 3 times, books provided, uniform provided, everything provided.
The real dividends will begin to show even long after the life of this administration. I don't want to go on and start talking about how we came from being at the bottom in ranking in WAEC, for instance, to now to a position where we're number 5 in the country, you know, or how we came from being at the bottom in NECO to a position today where we're number 3 in the country. Those are just one of the evidence of our investment.
Today, Bayelsa is gaining its pride of place with a resounding performance in major external examinations and its scholarship students flying the state's flag high.
How we can prepare ethanoic acid? Who can tell us? Justice, can you tell us?
Ethanoic acid is prepared by complete oxidation of ethanol.
Just recently, you heard the issue of the Bayelsa student from INA that was the overall best in the zonal competition, in the NNPC quiz competition. Bayelsa is going places today.
Like when I went for the NMPC competition in the final level, when I entered there, the other contestants were like, who is this student from Bayelsa? Who is this student from Bayelsa? That's because of this investment they've made. If they hadn't made that investment, maybe we won't be hearing that kind of thing.
After Abuja, they were asking, is it the Bayelsa boy? And this is the first time that Bayelsa is represented in this national level for the 16 years that the program has been going on. With that, it is a good credit to the restoration government in terms of educational pursuit and development.
Recently, during a visit to Bayelsa State for the formal commissioning of the Ijaw National Academy, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka dazzled the students in a well-organized literary event. The presence of Soyinka and other literary icons like Gabriel Okara and John Pepper Clark was a great opportunity for the students to firmly decide a career path, as the event had a positive effect on their psyche.
Your priorities very often change, not because you want to, but because of the pressure which is on. Let me just summarize it by quoting Bernard Shaw when he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature very late in life. You know the history of Nobel was he invented dynamite, explosives and so on. And Bernard Shaw afterwards it takes a devilish mind to invent such a destructive thing as dynamite. He said, but it must have been the diabolical fiend from hell which invented the Nobel Prize for Literature.
Soyinka, who is now an education ambassador to the state, is expected to return when the government launches the proposed book club in all public schools.
I attended St. John's Primary School, Kemibiama, in Southern Ijaw local government. It has really helped us, picking us from our grassroots levels and developing us to this extent. At first, it wasn't going easily, but during times things became in order and I began to enjoy it. I might say that it has impacted a lot into my life as a personal individual. It has increased my hunger for knowledge and for improvement and development of my individual being in terms of intellectual and every other aspect of my life.
This scholarship program has helped to shape my life in a way that is unexplainable, because without this scholarship program, I'm not sure if I would be where I am today.
Interestingly, one of the key policies of the Restoration government in education is the unprecedented scholarship program.
The face of secondary education system, the Ijaw National Academy, a school that is built and molded, the structure is to ensure that we do not only teach them, but also mold their characters. Where chaplains are there appointed, manual personnel are there, military personnel are there to build character and also drive academics. So that school in itself has 1,500 students, all boarding students, free boarding school. Books are provided for the students, including both textbooks and notebooks. Free medical care, because we have sick bays built in all the schools. We also have free feeding. All you need to do as a parent is to bring your child and register the child after the child has passed the test that is open to all Bayelsa children, from all the local governments, from all the schools. They sit for it. When they pass, automatically they are our property.
The Restoration government under Governor Dixon is raising real hope for a brighter future in the acquisition of quality and requisite education as a surest way of creating a better society. This can be viewed from one of the main areas of focus of the government, which is on human capacity development, and the gains of it have been very remarkable. Thus, the overseas scholarship of the government across various countries in Europe and America has thrown up beneficiaries of it in the global market as some of the most sought-after products. For someone like Perewari Victor Pere, the best graduating student of Lincoln University, Pennsylvania in the United States of America, and the 2017 valedictorian, his future and that of his colleagues have been secured by the bold efforts of the Restoration government.
On the first day, a lot of people were saying, come on, this is just, we know Nigeria, they're going to pick the kids. I'm like, then why are you here? I mean, this is like a wasted effort. You shouldn't be here if you already know they're going to pick those kids. I don't think they're going to pick kids like that. I believe they're going to pick people who deserve it, and that's why I'm here. So I just went to that mentality, and like I said, when I came out, some persons asked me, how much did your dad pay? Who does that? And I'm like, guy, okay, I wish my dad had that much money, but he didn't pay nobody. But I cannot sit down to try to convince you. It's impossible because this is how we think. For myself, I had to literally change that mentality, and the government came true. So I have a personal conviction. For you, you do not, so you would have a different testimony with respect to that. So I just said, you know what, if you want to be sure the government did the right thing, if you want to be sure of the students being sent abroad, just wait after 4 years, which actually happened in 3 years, and see what they're going to come out with. And everybody can see that this was really a free and fair process. Like I said, if you ever had doubt about your scores, you could always go there. They had all the papers and everything of such. He's very education oriented. I mean, with the scholarship programs he has done, 60 billion naira spent, starting up a university. Let's check this out. How many governors in Nigeria right now are actually chasing education this month? Believed in sending people abroad, and no matter the recession, believed in seeing them through. What can I say? Yeah, I'm grateful to him. He has done a lot, and I sincerely thank him.
To be realistic, not because I'm talking with you. I am just a person. If I want to attack you, the moment you say parent, you're supposed to know me small. Every day, this name Dixon is going on in the church, in the house of God, in my house. Because he made it in such a way that no connection. Let your merit, your brain, takes you there. And Dixon made it point blank that let no commissioner children come. No, allow the people of the other side to come. I mean, I don't know how many governors can do that. I mean, Dixon really, that's why wherever Dixon issue comes, I say, look, leave this man. He can't be okay in every area, but he has done his best. There are times I'm going to say, Pere, it appears you're also eating from Dixon. I say, forget about eating or no eating. Not because he sent my son there, but the man is trying his best. Whether anybody believe it or no, I don't want to say things to please anybody.
I'm grateful to the governor because this scholarship scheme was very transparent. There was nothing like man no man on it. It was very transparent. The day they handled this interview for them to travel abroad was very transparent. So I'm very happy. I'm grateful to the governor, to His Excellency, to His Okinadu governor for this scholarship. He should continue on his good work. That is what I have to say.
These young people, they have transformed. And that's what education can do to a people. That's what education can do to a society. And the investment in the lives of these children, for me, is an investment that is worth it.
Has established the University of Africa, Tororua, Bayelsa State, to allow more people access to tertiary education. The university, with world-class personnel drawn from different countries, became the 43rd state university and 143rd in the Nigerian university system that is recognized by the National Universities Commission, NUC. The idea of the university, according to the vision of the governor, is to become a Pan-African university that will congregate students from across the African continent.
The governor's vision is to get the top, the best, from not only from Nigeria, but from all over the world to come and teach. And not only to come, but to give them a very enabling environment to bring their skills
to this university will be unique in terms of the people coming in, both professionals. The visitor does not really mind, what color, but come in and want to make this one of the best universities in Nigeria.
On November 16, 2017, the University of Africa Tororo Bayelsa State had its first graduation ceremony of the School of Foundation Studies. The event, which took place at the ultra-modern Bolorua campus of the university, was a watershed. It brought to reality years of planning and concrete realization of the first phase of a burning vision. Packed in the auditorium were very appreciative students who knew that their future has been given a new meaning.
Leadership is about shared values. Leadership is about shared responsibility. On this form, I promise to lead by example and to be your servant vice chancellor. I will be a servant vice chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you also very much for your patience.
Education plays a very vital role in our society, our state, our nation, and our world at large. Education is the dream of the people, both young and old. It instills courage with boldness of speech. Every parent longs to have an educated child. Education contributes to our nation economy and builds a quality state. It's the force that drives the tired lungs and empower the youth with an aspiration for greater heights, and a belief that goals are made out of dreams and will be achieved. This is why our amiable governor, Henry Siraki Dixon, has made education one of his objectives. His Excellency also founded and established the University of Africa, which has given us the golden opportunity, which many of us never had, by providing tuition waiver scholarship for us to study our desired careers.
By the sheer determination, dedication, doggedness, and passion of a governor whose love for education is unprecedented.
I'm very happy to see today the first fruit of our investment into the future. And as I stood here a short time ago, seeing you all walking tall and walking proudly, seeing you all receiving your certificates, and having a handshake with all of you, each and every one of you. What you didn't know was that I was looking directly into your eyes, each one of you. And in all your eyes, I saw the bright future of our people.
The successful completion of the foundation program, which ended in September 2017, has led to the accreditation of 24 academic programs in 21 departments domiciled in 4 faculties. This was after an NUC-organized resource verification exercise. It is therefore expected that with NUC's nod, the university will from January 2018 begin full degree programs in the accredited faculties. This no doubt will give more opportunities to Bayelsans and indeed all those yearning for real, quality yet affordable world-class university education. The passion of Governor Dixon in education and the huge investment his government has made has not gone unnoticed. Within and outside Nigeria, the governor has been recognized as a champion of education. For a governor who is not used to awards, he has however seen it as more responsibility to work harder and deliver more on his education promise. With a little above 2 years to sign off his administration, Governor Dixon is still working very hard alongside a dedicated team to completely change the face of education in Bayelsa State. He has to a large extent used education to reduce youth restiveness, violent conduct, and sundry crimes associated with youths. Undoubtedly, in the years to come, Bayelsa will become a state decorated with the best brains in arts and the sciences. It is safe to re-echo that Dixon is working. The restoration agenda is on course, and Bayelsa is moving and moving forward.
Stand as one, united in every sense of the word. Bayelsa, let us do what is right, with a future so secure. Leaders, what we need, this is the best. The greatness God has brought our way, with a future so secure. Leaders, what we need, this is the best. We'll stand as one, united in every sense of the word. Bayelsa, let us do what is right, with a future so secure. Leaders, what